Come on, you go for it. Yeah, good job, you, good job.
Hi everybody, Dr. Danny.
Dr. Garrett.
Today we wanted to talk to you guys about a statement we hear pretty frequently, and it's, I used to pop my own neck or pop my own back. And it's not working anymore, so that's why I'm here, right?
Yep.
So let's talk about a story that we just had. So on Friday, I saw a patient, a young college kid that wakes up every morning. Reaches over his head and pops his own neck, both sides. It relieves his pressure, and he said he probably does that 5 or more times a day. But if you think about it, right, there's a lot of pressure built up in the neck.
Pressure? What are you talking about pressure? I don't have any pressure.
Just by self-adjusting or self-popping his neck, it helps to feel better. We get commonly someone that demonstrates something like this, or this motion, or turns around in a chair and cranks the back. So we get a lot of popping when those things happen.
Sure.
And even when we adjust a patient, we get those sounds or those audibles.
Yeah.
So can you explain, like, what is the difference?
The main difference versus self-adjusting and getting an adjustment from a chiropractor is we're trained how to adjust the spine.
Okay, you know what? You're making it sound kind of lame. So skip ahead to the really dangerous stuff.
In a specific line of drive,
Right.
Specific point on the spine,
Right.
The amplitude and the velocity, all that stuff. We're highly trained on how to do that.
Right.
So when someone is self-adjusting or popping their neck or their back, this illustration shows a good description of what's happening.
Yeah.
So you're having pain in your neck or your back, so you're popping it to relieve that pain and that pressure. But like you said, we get a lot of patients that say, I haven't been able to get that spot anymore.
Yeah.
Well, for example, let's say this is the spot that's subluxated. It's out of alignment, probably causing pain.
Yeah.
So when you self-adjust, you're adjusting above and below. You're adjusting the joints that are able to move anyways.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you do that, you get a release of pressure, which is what makes the sound.
Yeah.
But the area that's subluxated and stuck is still there, so that's why it still hurts.
Right, and this is the true problem. The
Exactly.
pressure isn't the problem.
Right.
It's that restricted joint that we're focusing on.
Absolutely.
Being highly selective.
Mhm.
This is a 3-dimensional object, so we're looking at multiple,
Yes.
like rotation, that lateral bending aspect, that flexion extension. There's a lot that goes into the
Yeah.
pop, and
Oh, yeah.
people think it's just simple
Right.
and easy. It's not.
Yeah, and the noise is not the goal of the adjustment.
That's right.
It's just a byproduct of getting adjusted. And it doesn't happen every time. That's not what we're looking for when we adjust our patients. We want the joint to move, get it back in a better alignment, take pressure off of the joints, take pressure off the spine and the nerves, and sometimes it makes a sound.
Yeah.
So the pop is not the goal. It's not the point.
Right. And a lot of times, like we were talking about, it's the easiest movable segment. Above and below the restriction that's moving, we actually end up 5-6 times a day moving that segment that doesn't need to.
Right.
We create more motion, which creates its whole set of problems in itself.
Yeah.
And we're never actually addressing the true problem.
Right.
Yeah.
It can create instability in the joints
That's
and the
right.
spine, which when we're talking about the spine, you want it to be stable. You want it to be movable in a good way, but you want it to be stable. So
Strong.
you don't want to, be self-adjusting and create this instability and then end up, like the patient that came in, and he's not the first.
No,
unfortunately.
No. Yeah, and he was walking into the office, was stuck with his neck to the right because it was too painful to turn back. He couldn't lean his head to that side. There was a lot going on, but I think I got the point across, and hopefully we are to you.
Yeah.
Stop doing that. If you're doing that, just stop. Come in, allow us to take care of it. This is a much longer term solution than just releasing pressure in the neck. We're releasing that fixated joint, like I said, for more long-term problem correction.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Thanks.